The business.
Welcome back to another episode, another installment of Day One Radio, right here on ABLradio.com. That's Art Beats and Lyrics Radio to be exact. Make sure you download the very free, very accessible smartphone app for your iPhone and Android devices. And B, tell them where they can find the entire Day One Radio catalog.
Man, you can always find us on iTunes. Make sure you subscribe and rate. And you can also find us on SoundCloud, Spreaker, Stitcher, and everywhere else you find your favorite podcast. What's going on, bro?
Everything's cool on my end. Speaking of SoundCloud, man.
What happened?
Like, this is something I noticed the other night, just about the social media tools in general that we use, whether it's like, social media, whether it's like SoundCloud, Facebook, things that used to be free but are now costing us money to use and promote things on.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable knowing that these services know exactly who we are, but we don't know who's on the other side of the fence. Like, there is absolutely no such thing as customer service for Facebook, SoundCloud, any of this stuff, man. It's like they can sit there and have all your information. Like, the reason I bring this up, one, Facebook, if you're listening out there, y'all owe me like a ton of money for doing something that I did not do. One, that's another story. But when I was on SoundCloud the other day, like I signed in my account trying to, listen to something. And usually, you turn your computer on, it just pops up because you're already in. I was signed out of it. So I tried signing in, like, wrong password, whatever. Like, well, this is odd. And then finally it gives me a message saying, we changed your password because your email got compromised in a data breach from another service. So I'm like, well, if it's my email, I think y'all should tell me where this thing got breached at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so I'm going all through the contact page, like, all right, I'm going to get an answer. No contact page, just another one of them pages like they have on Facebook and Instagram where it's like, we're pretty sure this question has been asked before. Just look on this page. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, damn, I'm just going to change my password. Tell me, man, by the way, your information got, compromised somewhere else that we can't tell you about. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, they know everything about me, but I don't know who's on the other side of the fence of this stuff that we use, man.
Yeah, that's too much, especially considering how many employees they have. They should have somebody you can call, but
right.
That's just where we going now. That's even if you call UPS or FedEx or something, you got to hit a button a million times to actually get to talk to somebody. And then half the time, they're in another country.
Usually, when I have to deal with stuff like that, I just start yelling operator. Soon as I just like operator, representative, operator. And usually it gets you through the white noise if you just start saying operator.
Either that or just hit zero hella times. You'll get through. But yeah, man, we just got past the Grammy Awards. Did you watch the show?
I watched some of it, man. It's like, I don't know if I'm like immune to award shows now because I've had the honor and the not so honor of like sitting through a few of them in my day.
Yeah.
So, now when I see them on TV, it's like I get even bored than I was when I used to have to sit through them. Right. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, I didn't watch the entire thing. I saw some of the performances. It's like, as usual, like the Grammys is always, in my part, granted, the awards are one thing, but it's like they've always kind of had decent production with the show.
Yeah,
like you can tell that they know what they're doing at this point.
It's the one time a year that you listen to music that otherwise you would never listen to.
Right, exactly, because it's like I got put on to so many groups over the years watching the Grammys. Like, all right, so who was this person beating this other person that I listen to all the damn time? You know what I'm saying?
I had never heard of what's Marissa something, one of the country singers that won an award. I had never heard of her or the other one that was nominated for New Artist of the Year. I had never heard of 21 Pilots. I'm like, I heard of Stone Temple Pilots. Right. I heard of 21 Savage. Is this a collaboration group?
Right.
Is this like Big Grams or something? But
I wonder how true that may be for like people
It's
on the
gotta
other side
be.
of the fence, we're like, wow, I've never heard of this Kendrick Lamar, this Chance the Rapper.
I'm sure it is.
Who are these people?
I just wonder do they sit through the performances?
Right.
Like, because I'll sit through, if it's decent, I'll sit through it. What did you think of the Prince tribute?
I thought it was pretty cool, man. It's like, I mean, like Bruno's that dude. You know what I'm saying? I really rock with Bruno, man. It's like I still lean towards what BET did simply because we have artists up there where it's like, y'all did some real research. Y'all got Bilal up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all got Erykah Badu to
Sheila
sing.
E.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got people that could sing songs
BET's
that match.
tribute was better, but it was BET's tribute was like the soulful side of Prince. Grammys, that was like a more mainstream tribute. But I thought Bruno did his thing. It was interesting to me that they had the time perform their songs, but not perform Prince. Like, I would have thought that they would be the backing band, or it would have been cool.
Which I wasn't mad at.
I'm not mad at it either. And clearly a whole lot of people in the audience did not know these songs. Like,
Jay was out there dancing though.
He never needs to do that again. Jay danced like somebody granddaddy. He was killing me with that. But that was dope. I enjoyed that. I think Chance probably had the performance of the night. And until I see Kirk Franklin and Plies in the same room at the same time, they're the same person as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know. Kirk Franklin clearly has no friends. What the hell did he have on?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Kirk, you better hope he don't hear you talking too much, man. You know what I'm saying? Kirk been out here threatening folks with guns on Twitter and whatnot.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I don't understand wearing short pants and a long T-shirt and a tuxedo. He looked crazy as hell. But Kirk Franklin got to be about 50 years old.
But gospel singers have always been some peculiar dressers.
Then wear a fancy robe. Like, that's just crazy to me. I know he's trying to appeal to the young. Maybe that's his thing. Maybe he's going through a midlife crisis. But Kirk Franklin got to be 50 years old, at least. Like, there's no way you should be dressing like that.
He was in his 20s.
I first heard of Kirk Franklin when I was in high school, and I'm 40.
But, like, he wasn't an old man back then. Like, he was in his early 20s when he came up with, like, Silver and Gold and all that. Like, I don't know if he's 50 yet.
He need to be ashamed of himself. He's dressing crazy as hell. But Chance killed it big time, man. He did his thing. And I wonder, will this open up a situation where we have more, I guess, rappers that don't have deals, allegedly, or that don't, put out physical copies and stuff.
That's the thing, though. It's like, outside of just, being a music writer and everything, I don't have nothing personal against the dude, but I've always been highly skeptical of the story that they're selling us on this dude. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, oh, he's completely independent. Of course, yeah, he's able to get songs with Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz solely off relationships. He's able to get the song on the radio just because people like it. He's able to get Comiskey Park, where the White Sox play, to host a whole festival just because people love him. Like I don't know,
clearly it's not. I mean, my thing is nowadays people are artists. You don't necessarily have to sign with a record label. You can set up a deal with one of these streaming services.
Right. That's exactly. I'm suspecting that that's what he has now.
Exactly. And he probably also does what Macklemore did. And whereas I'm not signing to you, but I will pay you a certain amount of money to use your services, a record label, your services to not to distribute, but to do radio promotion and all of that. So,
but like that said, to what you were saying, I'm not sure if this opens up doors for artists like him, because really, how many of them are there out there like him outside of Frank? What, Nipsey Hussle? Like Nipsey Hussle about to start getting nominated for Grammys. You know what I'm saying? Because like they're not counting Dat Piff live mixtapes where most free music is consumed anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if any country singers that are like, oh yes, man, you can have my album for free. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think this is solely a hip hop thing. And it's like, it seemed like this whole effort, of course it was spearheaded, by him, kudos to him. But it's like, I'm not sure if this really
he's an anomaly,
right? I don't know. Like I said, like I don't really know if this opens doors for other artists because there aren't a lot of artists just out there.
Maybe not immediately, but I guess down the road it will, because I don't see a lot of these cats signing with labels. Like they're like to sign with Tidal before they will sign with somebody else, and then even the independent. Supposedly independent stuff, even the independents like Empire is probably the biggest indie out there right now, but even they upstream to Atlantic,
right? So
it's all a hustle, it's all a game. It's nothing really appears to be what it is for the most part. I remember when Drake came out with the mixtape, and what was the best I ever had, and people was like, oh, he's independent and he's all over the road. He had been signed to Universal. It just wasn't public,
right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's what it is. But I thought it was dope that Chance won a lot. I was hoping that Schoolboy was gonna win.
Yeah, man, dude been nominated twice. It's like man, I was, you know what I'm saying? I mean, great. He came out during a great year in rap, you know what I'm saying, which is not his fault, you know what I'm saying. He came out during a very great year for rap music, you know what I'm saying? But out of the stuff that was nominated, I probably did bump that the most, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I wanted Fat Joe and Remy to get one.
Right.
That would have been dope too. Or what do you think about all this backlash for Beyonce not winning the big awards?
I think it's valid. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like one part of me is like, okay, that's why we should be grateful for stuff like the Image Awards, the BET Awards, things like that, where we honor ourselves when, you know, other, you know, outlets choose not to or they overlook us. But then also at the same time, it's like, okay, like now why am I not winning on the biggest stage where you are honoring who are supposed to be the absolute best? You know what I'm saying? It's like hands down, I'm obviously the best at what I'm doing across the board. Why am I not winning awards? You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I can, like, I think the backlash is valid.
I know a couple people who vote, and I don't know what the full process is, I think it's kind of like Ziggy Marley has won like a reggae album of the year a million times, and I think that's partially because most of the voters, that's probably the only reggae artist they know.
No, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was the same thing when Kendrick was like, if you're not into that culture, if you don't know what's what, as huge as Beyonce was, dude, Adele was everywhere. Like you could get a ticket to Beyonce when she was doing a huge arena, and you may pay a lot of money for a nosebleed, but you could get a ticket. Adele's show was sold out.
Well, see, that's the thing. There's like, are there? So you really think that there are voters in this process who was like, I didn't even know Beyonce dropped an album.
No, I don't know. I don't think that's the case. I mean, don't get me wrong. Beyonce is a huge star. I think they're aware of both. I just think that they align more with Adele than they did with Beyonce, especially because this Beyonce album was pretty much for her black fans, her black women fans. Mm-hmm. And Adele's album is just this pop music, like at the end of the day. But I could see people being upset. Has Beyonce ever won album of the year?
No.
Yeah, and that's probably what it is.
A black woman has not won album of the year since Lauren in 99.
Yeah, so
you know
that's what it is. I mean, I think I think if Beyonce had won before, you know, for Crazy in Love, which she probably should have won for because it was by far the best pop album that year, I think people wouldn't be as mad now.
Right.
But, you know.
Like she consistently keeps getting overlooked, which is like, well, I think the arguments are valid. It's like, bro, this Beyonce, bro. I mean, come on now. You know what
I mean, it's essentially like kind of the biggest star we have right now.
Right. And it's like, and I can see how people argue like, oh, she's being marginalized. Because like, you can win the urban. We'll give you all the black stuff.
Yeah.
We'll give you all that. But these other ones, nah, not yet.
I mean, but this is the same, you know, Academy or whatever that didn't even nominate Solange's album, and that's, you know, with pretty much any list you go to, it's top 5 albums of the year. Mm-hmm. And granted, she got a Grammy for
well, when did that come out though? 'Cause that came out like
Cranes in the Sky came out
like late September, because I remember
it was in enough time.
Okay.
It reached the cutoff, because Cranes in the Sky didn't come out that much more before the album. So it reached the cutoff. It could have gotten nominated.
Okay.
But I don't know, man. It's kind of bogus. I'm not a big Adele fan. Shit, I got invited to the Adele show here and turned down a ticket. Like, so I
don't say that too many times, bro.
I just, it's not for me. I like music with soul. Like, I was having this conversation with the person I was watching the awards with, and I was like the Lucas Graham song, which I was shocked I don't think he won anything. The 7 Years Old song. That song is jamming. And it's soulful. I can get with soulful music. Ed Sheeran, the joint that he performed. Soulful song. Adele's music is not soulful. The writing is excellent. The arrangements are excellent. I just don't feel no soul from her delivery. I was happy though that Danger Mouse got an Album of the Year award.
Shout out to Rita in high school.
Yeah, man. I just seen his brother in the airport not too long ago, man. So it's amazing to me where he's come from. Like, the dude he was a hip hop producer for real. Like, how you go from your first release being with Gemini, the Gifted One, to producing songs on the Album of the Year. That is amazing. Yeah, that is absolutely amazing. He is doing this thing. I'm just happy because for a long time he would only produce something if he was producing the entire album. So I guess he's falling back from that.
Well, I mean, yeah, if Adele comes calling, I don't know if you just could be like,
Shady Records contacted me to get in touch with him, and he was like, bro, if I ain't doing the whole album, I'm not.
But for who though? Like, I mean, there's been a lot of people on Shady. I don't
remember.
No disrespect to the other artists on Shady, but like, if it was like, yo, man, we want some beats for this Stat Quo. You know what I'm saying? We want some beats for this Cashies.
This was like 05, 06. So
that's when they were their deepest. That's when they had that whole re-up.
I think 07, 08 is when they were. That's when your man with the 18 million kids was on there.
Cashies.
Yeah. Back in the day. Now Shady only got Eminem and
I think it's back down to Eminem.
And
I don't know if we can count Slaughterhouse.
No, I think they still on the label. I think.
I mean, actively or like
I don't know what's up with that album. Every time we done had Royce in here, we done had Just Blaze in here, and we get the non-answer answer
right
whenever we ask about it. But yeah, that was who else was the I think wasn't Chance like the only rap performance
that I remember seeing. Like I said, I didn't watch the entire thing, but yeah, like
that's kind of crazy. You would think that it would be more than. Oh no, Tribe Called Quest.
Now that was dope. That was dope. Like, granted, I
don't like the songs.
I wasn't feeling how. I mean, granted, Q-Tip is Q-Tip. He's obviously the front man, but I didn't really dig how it was like his performance was almost obvious to the point where it's like, I am the front man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's an attention whore. And what the fuck did he have on, too? And Busta Rhymes looking like a fat Black Power Santa Claus. Like, I didn't understand. Y'all got to get better stylists. and coming from a 40-year-old, fairly fashionable man, dude, we don't have to dress like youngsters dress to be fresh. I don't want to see nobody over 40, over 35 with zippers on your shirt. Like, you look crazy. And you can't have skin tight pants and a shirt that's 2 sizes too big. It makes no sense. You look crazy. Leave that shit to niggas that live that life all the time. Because these be dudes that got Brooks Brothers shoots in the closet, and then when they go out on the weekend trying to get the young hoes, they go dress like the youngsters dress.
I mean, these are like, granted, these are guys. I mean, granted, we are obviously in the culture. We're in the culture. You know what I'm saying? But we also have other things going on. You know what I'm saying? You were talking about guys that are in the culture and have been in it for most of their lives. I don't know if they are ever going to reach a point where they're like, okay, I'm going to dress my age. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless, they are doing things like running a label like a Jay-Z or a T.I. or somebody where it's like, okay, I'm going to dress like this for this particular time and this, that, and the other.
Like, you ain't got to. My thing is there is several different ways to dress and still be cool. You can still wear your little $700 club sneakers and you know, all of that. You know, there's some Balenciaga, you know, stuff that looks cool. It's a few Balmain sweaters that look cool. But you, come on, bruh. These dudes be looking straight out of high-end Urban Outfitters,
these
man.
dudes are competing, bro. Like, cause I'll quote something that Busta Rhymes said years ago that always stuck with me. He said something about when you explaining generation gaps in hip hop. He's like, generation gaps exist because of the same reason that you didn't want to do anything that you saw your parents doing. It's like, oh, my parents are listening to Smokey Robinson and Earth, Wind and Fire. I'm listening to Too Short NWA. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do anything my parents are doing. So if you have these older rappers that are still out here like competing, like, you know what I'm saying? Competing, and they see, okay, this is what Little Uzi Vert's on. That's what's going on.
That's not good,
I'm
man.
going to borrow a little bit of that.
You're supposed to be leading the way, man. You ain't supposed to be borrowing from somebody back in the day, bro. Like, you're supposed to be leading the way, man. That's not cool to be. But the Tribe performance, it was, I just feel like that shit is so contrived, bro. Like, I never viewed Tribe Called Quest as a quote-unquote conscious group. They just made dope-ass hip-hop to me, and they would talk about issues that mattered to them, but it wasn't in a Public Enemy or X-Clan or KRS-One type way. It was real. It was cool. Like, that was their whole thing. It was like, with every man, we super cool. Our beats is dope. We can rhyme. So this completely left, like, but it's weird as fuck to me.
But
like,
to what you said, to what we were just talking about with the clothing and their choices in that, it's like, they are older now. Like, why not?
I'm not saying, it just sounds contrived to me. It doesn't sound like, I feel like they mean what they having to say, but I don't feel like they saying shit. Like, I'm not getting it. Ain't Run the Jewels. You feel me? Like, it ain't. It's where it's like, nah, we're mad as fuck, and this is the music that we making. It's Anarchist Cookbook. I just feel like they're saying we have problems. These are the problems, and the music just don't sound good to me. It don't sound mastered. Like, it sounds like.
Yeah. Like when you ride around to it, it don't sound like crystal mastered or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
it just sounds. But people, I can't knock nobody who likes it, and I know people look at me so crazy when I say I ain't feeling the album. But I thought the performance was pretty powerful. I thought it was cool. It was a lot of mistakes throughout the night. Like,
like the Adele thing.
The Adele, I think the Tribe brought the song back. I think that was a mistake. It just they're just such A1 performers that they can play that shit off.
I knew what you're talking about, but I didn't look at it as like a mistake. I thought it was like, oh, he about to get them hyped up for real this time.
I thought the Fife tribute from them was really dope. And it's just, I don't remember who it was that posted on Facebook that was like, man, it just ain't no Tribe without Fife, man. Like, and that's just what it is, bro. That's what you miss. And that's probably why I don't really like the album like that, because Fife, to me, was the anchor.
Right.
To me, he was the B-boy. He was the brash dude. Like, to me, he was like what Jam Master Jay is to Run DMC.
What Big Boy is to Outkast.
What Ren is to NWA. That's what Fife was to Tribe.
So it's like, I guess this goes without asking then, because, there had been, Q-Tip actually said this. I don't know if it counts as a rumor, but he actually said something to the effect of, like, we're going to see a Tribe, tour, maybe another album with pretty much the iteration that you saw on stage that night with Busta and Consequence. You know what I'm saying?
I'm good, man. I like Busta on his own. Busta's has so many classic songs and good albums. I like Consequence as an MC. I'm cool. I don't want to see that. I saw Tribe as Tribe. You feel me? Like, Homecoming, Tribe and Ice Cube. What a lineup. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see. I'm good, bro. Just like I don't want to see TLC without Left Eye. That's just weird to me. Like, I'm good, bro. Some people will go see it for nostalgia's sake. If I just happen to fall up in there, I'll check it out. But I'm not going out of my way.
So why does it not work with rap, man? Because if you look at like some of the classic groups with their breakups, you know what I'm saying? Like, People still got messed with the Temptations when Dennis Edwards replaced Eddie Ruffin. You know what I'm saying? People obviously still rock with New Edition when Johnny Gill replaced Bobby Brown.
I think it was different back in the day because, dude, there was hella different members of the Temptations even back then. Mm-hmm. Like, they went through, 3 lead singers, like, in their heyday. So for it to be new people then, it just is what it is. But now, and also, we live in an internet age. We live in where we see it. So if whatever group, because we don't really have groups no more, breaks up, we see the blow by blow every single time. And that back then, they didn't know what was going on. It was just like, oh, they got a new singer. Who is this dude? Oh, yeah, all right. Like, that don't sound like Eddie Ruffin. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's cool, man. But like I said, we don't have group. Like, I don't want to. Who's out now? A group.
Migos.
Yeah. So like, say Quavo decides to go solo, and the Migos get Rich Homie Quan to be the third member in the group. I don't nobody want to hear that shit. Like, no disrespect to Quan, or the other 2 niggas in Migos, but like,
Offset and Takeoff.
Yeah, don't nobody want to hear that. Like, it's chemistry is chemistry. Like, New Edition got better with Johnny Gill because Johnny Gill was a stronger singer, and they felt like they had to prove something. But I mean, what can you say? Bobby ain't been right in forever. Yeah, so
never can't get right.
Can't get right like my man in life. Can't get right. But yeah, so it's people. It was a lot of backlash from the Grammys, man, and I feel like we're gonna have even more. Like, it's more artists saying they're gonna boycott. If you notice, dude, there was a lot of double up performances in the Grammy. I felt like I was watching the BET Awards. Like, we gonna have you sing 3 times.
Yeah.
So we gonna see, because Adele sang twice, Bruno Mars sang twice. It was a few people that we saw out there, a couple times.
Yeah, and I think with black artists, you might see more. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the Grammys are going to, like, pretty much continue to be exactly what they're asking for, which is, okay, if y'all going to keep honoring only these pop acts, then y'all going to end up in a situation where, like, that's all that's going to be there.
And for the most part, I mean, shit. I mean, you have anomalies here and there, but shoot, rap music is pop music now.
It is the pop. It is the pop. You know what I'm saying? So the word can be used interchangeably. You know what I'm saying?
Like, how do you not have Ray Shrimmer or Migos on the show, and they done had the #1 song in the country for the most part of 2017?
Right.
You know what I mean? How are they not represented at all? That makes no sense to me. Mm-hmm. But they just gotta get they gotta get a little younger, man. And it's it takes people like Paul Wall that's in the mix, takes people like Dow Jones that's in the mix to kind of push the line on that and open these people up.
Yeah, cause I was reading something that one of the representatives for the Grammy said, because people were immediately comparing them to the Oscars. They had the whole Oscars so white thing.
Yeah.
The New York Times had put out an article saying
that's like
Grammy's so white. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're getting that. But like, I saw a representative from the Grammy say, well, we don't have that problem. We don't have the race problem. Yeah, we can get a little younger, but no, you ain't about to just be saying that we got this diversity problem.
It's not a diversity. I mean, it is, but it's not. Mm-hmm. It's not nearly as bad as the Oscars. The Oscars is whitewashed as hell.
Right.
But not nearly as bad. I was also, before we move on, dude, Rihanna, man. Rihanna album was probably better than Beyonce's album and Adele's album. Honestly, of a pop leaning what Grammys would vote for album, Justin Bieber and Rihanna probably had the best albums of last year. And as far as that pop stuff is concerned, and Rihanna just went 0 for 7, 0 for 8. She was in there lit, though.
Yeah, you with the flash. Yeah, she was chilling.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. That was bogus.
Yeah, I don't know what they have against her either.
Yeah, she might just be too real for her, man. Rihanna hood as fuck.
We can't give her an award. We don't know what she's going to say in her acceptance speech.
I would love to see her give an acceptance speech. Shout out to Rihanna. What he say? Hi, Rihanna. But another thing, people, the flip side of that, black people was mad at the Grammys. White people mad at Netflix. They canceling their subscriptions and
Seriously?
and everything over this Dear White People trailer. They ain't even seen the whole show yet.
And the leader of angry white supremacists, whatever lump you want, like even David Duke ass was on Twitter. Yeah, boycott Netflix for it. And it's like, my thing is,
well, before let's go into the clip of the trailer and hear what they talking about, and we'll come back.
Dear white people, here's a list of acceptable Halloween costumes. Pirate, slutty nurse, any of our first 43 presidents. Top of the list of unacceptable costumes, me.
Yeah, so it's like, 'cause it's funny because we've had the Dear White People flyer hanging up in the studio for the longest, and it's like I went to obviously this is also the irony behind all these white folk being mad. They're mad at this television trailer for a show that ain't even came out yet, and they don't seem to know that this was originally a movie 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
And I never even saw the movie. Did you see the movie?
I saw the movie. I haven't had the desire to go see it twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to the theater to go see it.
I heard it was kind of bogus.
Like, it was all right. Yeah. You know, it was just all right. You know, I didn't really leave. Like, I don't think I recommended it to anybody.
It wasn't I Am Not Your Negro.
Right. Like, it was just all right. Like, it had its moments. You know what I'm saying? It had its obvious moments where it's like, oh, wow, they put a current event in there. Yes, that actually happens. But it's like, I had no desire to go see it twice. I'm probably going to check out the show just to, see what it is. Like, I'm interested to know, like, and also that's one thing I did remember about the movie. Like, it seemed like it could have been better as a show because they tried to cram so much into the movie that a lot just wound up getting lost because you could tell, like, oh, they just tried to fit that in there. So it might be better as a television show to where it's like they can, attack one topic for 60 minutes straight instead of trying to, okay, we're going to touch on this for 15 minutes. We're going to touch on this for 10 minutes. We're going to, fit this little part in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but the show might be all right, but back to the irony thing, they obviously don't know that this was a movie from 3 years ago. And they're just like mad about a 1 minute trailer.
Not even 30 seconds. And I'm like, are you? I think it is. Well, white people get mad when black people tell them what they can't do. That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah,
because nothing she was saying was wrong in the trailer at all. You should not be dressing up in blackface for Halloween. And that's really the gist of the whole trailer. Mm-hmm. So now people are mad when you wouldn't make a Dear Black People thing or you wouldn't do this. I was like, yo, this fake outrage is out of control. I'm like, if you don't want to get Netflix, just say you want Hulu, Amazon Prime. Fuck it. Cut off your Netflix, man. Like, it is what it is. Y'all probably sharing accounts anyway.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's funny, like, I didn't know it was going to become, like, a thing, though. Because I remember when the trailer did hit the web, right? Because I did a post about it. And I saw, like, comments already. Like, the video did not have that many views yet. But it had hella comments of people saying something like, oh, what is this? Yada, yada, yada. And I thought it was just going to live there. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the YouTube comment section. But now, like, a week later, it's turned into a hashtag movement of, you know what I'm saying, thousands of people. You know what I'm saying?
People just like to have stuff to complain about, bro. That's really what it boils down to. If you want to be mad at something, there's way more stuff that you can be mad at.
A whole smorgasbord of stuff to be mad at.
Right? Exactly. It's out of control. So if you want to watch Dear, I don't even know when it comes out, the TV show. Do you know?
It just said coming soon, I believe, but it might be in April.
Yeah, I know you got that coming out. I believe the She's Gotta Have It TV show from Spike Lee just wrapped. So that should be interesting. The chick is Nola Darling was in that's playing Nola Darling was in that movie, How to Tell If You're a Douchebag. You ever seen that? Mm-mm. It's actually a pretty good film, man. It was they screened it here for some film festival, and I just happened to catch it on like Centric or something one day. It's actually a pretty dope movie. But she stars in that Beautiful Sister or whatnot. So we're about to go. Go ahead.
You brought up I'm Not Your Negro. How'd you like that, man? I finally got around to seeing it this past weekend.
Excellent. It's one of the best documentaries I've seen in years. I actually want to go back and see it again because it was just visually, it was certain things that I was like, I wonder how does that fit in or whatever, especially like some of the shots of New York that they did or whatnot. So I definitely would go see it again. Dude, James Baldwin was a brilliant dude, man.
And I was glad to see that, like, this is a general release because, like, I was convinced, like, oh man, I gotta go see it now at Midtown Art Cinema because they're only gonna show it twice a day for 3 weeks. But like, it's actually everywhere as a general release. You can go see it.
Magnolia, who is the company that put it out, who I believe that what's my man's name that owns the Mavericks? Cuban. He was once an owner of Magnolia. I don't know if he still is, Magnolia Pictures. But they do a pretty good job of getting their stuff out there in theaters. I know here in Atlanta it's playing in like 4 or 5 spots. In the Bay, because I was looking it up to tell my parents to go see it, it was really only playing like in Berkeley and then like some way out of that city. So I'm not sure about that. But if you or anything, black, white, other, whatever. It's just an excellent documentary, period. And the stuff that they do an excellent job of tying in present day with the 60s and early 70s without it being real crazy. And the fact that this brother was a gay black man in the 50s, 60s, and 70s and was holding that much weight and able to just control conversations and politicize things and bring light to social issues. It's just, dude, James Baldwin was a powerful dude.
I mean, granted, it's obviously amazing, but like seeing that, I was also thinking maybe it's because, you know, he kept it about that. You know what I'm saying? Because like, did he throw his homosexuality into every conversation?
I just think the fact that people knew, because, you know, people were far less accepting back then, but the fact that they knew it was even in like the FBI files and stuff on him, like people knew he didn't put it, he would mention it. He was just a master of conversation. Like his eloquence and sounding so poetic, but not really talking over people's heads was just amazing. Like he's one of the best authors of our time, period, ever. So, and the fact that he, you know, there are a lot of people that can write that aren't eloquent, and he had both, which was, you know, amazing to me. But please go check that out. And then hopefully this spurs people going on their Kindle or going to Barnes and Nobles or whatever bookstore you go to and buying some of his older books, because people don't read no more. So,
and you know, I was also happy to see, like, because I went to a Sunday matinee for it. And I was glad to see that it was a very diverse crowd. You know what I'm saying? It was young, there was old. People obviously brought their kids there. You know what I'm saying? There was white, there was black, there was like Asian. Like everybody was there. Because, you know, sometimes with documentaries like that, it can turn into like a preaching to the choir thing where it's like it's only black folk in there.
But
and,
I think it's so well made that it's going to touch different people. And I hope it wins the Oscar for Best Documentary, because even more people will go see it then. But it's just something that people need to see. And I think we're just living in that time where people want to see social things on social activism, because everybody's being treated like they black now. So everybody else is paying attention to different things. Even I was watching the ESPN joint that they did on OJ, and it's about the trial, but it's as much about the trial and his come up and fall as it is about racial politics in Los Angeles.
And I've been wanting to see that because
it's long as hell.
Oh, no, I know, because I ain't gonna lie, man. I was kind of snobbish to all the OJ mania last year, or was it 2015? Because that
was last year.
That and the FX thing came out around the same time because of like the 20th anniversary or something like that. But it's like, because, you know, I would have, you know, company over the house, or I would go over to somebody else's house, and if they weren't talking about the FX special, they were talking about the ESPN thing, and I was like, I don't get why y'all are watching this. Like, you know how the story ends. Why y'all dedicating hours of y'all life? But
I was the same way, and I happened to catch one episode of that FX joint, and I was like, this shit good as hell.
And it's like, I don't have cable, but bruh, best believe I binged on it on Netflix when it hit Netflix. What is it? Last weekend? Bruh, I binged on it.
Dude, when Johnny Cochran got put on the team, And he walked into that courtroom, and the music supervisors for the show played Above the Law Black Superman. They had me.
I was like, wow. and that was ill, too. Like, the music on there was ill, because, like, even when they were playing that Beastie Boys Sabotage during the White Bronco chase, because, like, I was like, yo, they got this exactly right, because I remember when that happened thinking, this is like that Beastie Boys video, bro. Like, that song was a hit song at that same exact time, bro. I remember, like, that was so vivid to me, you know, that Beastie Boys Sabotage and that OJ chase that summer, man.
It was amazing, bro. I do that. They got down, and ESPN comes with it with the 30 for 30s and the different things that they do. I can't even front on that, because you can watch a 30 for 30 on something you have no interest in whatsoever and still be entertained. And
you're right. I think the only 30 for 30 I have seen, I haven't seen all of them, but I think the only one that I've seen that I did not like was the one that of all people, I thought I was gonna love it. The one that John Singleton did on, I think he did his on USC, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, like that might have been the only one I was like,
I always have.
Because
he
put so much of himself in the story.
We gotta keep it 100. we gotta keep it super 100. Like, to keep it really, really, really real. John Singleton, it's been kind of downhill since Boys in the Hood. John Singleton ain't really made a whole lot of shit that was really good, like, other than Boys in the Hood. Like, Higher Learning is cool. Baby Boy is a horrible film to me.
Like Baby Boy, I mean, great. Like,
you like it because it's funny lines in it. You like to see Snoop being an asshole. It's not a good movie.
But I got the premise. So I was like, I understand this cycle. Like, I appreciated, like, the cycle story that he told, because you don't really see it presented in that way. You're always told about that cycle, and you're left to assume about that cycle. But he actually showed the cycle. You know what I'm saying? So I liked that movie. I liked that movie.
I get it. I think you like the premise of the movie more so than you actually like the actual film. But yeah, so I can see you not liking the John Singleton 30 for 30. Dude has definitely been.
It was he put so much of himself in the story. Like, man, I thought this was about the USC Trojans. I did not know this was about. Oh yeah, man. You know, I used to bang Tyra Banks. You know, that's why she was in my movies. You know, it's like. All right, buddy.
John Singleton is like Capadonna, man. That Winter Wars verse was incredible. Every now and again, you hit us with something else, but ain't nobody really checking for what you got going on, bro. Like, straight up. But yo, we're about to go into a quick break.
Hey, what it do, man? It's your boy Rich Homie Quan, and right now you're listening to Day One Radio on ABLRadio.com. Rich Homie, baby.
And we are back on Day One Radio. It's a lot going on in sports too, man. I think today, while we're recording this, it came out that it was a rumor that the McGregor Mayweather fight is closer to happening than not happening. Even though Dana White, Dana White sent out a tweet or something that said it's very far from happening. But we know Dana White is always saying what Dana White is going to say. But I think that this may actually happen.
Do you want to see this?
Like,
first of all, when we say it's happening, in what fashion? Is it boxing? Is it MMA?
It's boxing.
No holds barred?
It's boxing.
Okay.
You know, and it's only right because, you know, McGregor is a striker. You know, he does more hitting and kicking than he does anything else. And Mayweather is the draw, so it makes sense for it to be Mayweather's rules. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I would much rather see Floyd fight a boxer for his 50th victory. I don't even know if it'll count as a victory. Mm-hmm. Is this an exhibition thing? Right. Is this Soulja Boy Chris Brown?
If the man McGregor got his boxing license, right?
I believe so.
It's going to count. If you got the license, it's going to count.
Yeah, McGregor don't want that. Like, dude, Floyd Mayweather has fought the best of the best in boxing, and they couldn't touch him. What makes him think?
All I know is the black Archie Bunker in me does not want to see this white boy knock out Floyd, bro. I don't know if I can.
It ain't gonna happen.
That.
Come on, man. What makes you think if Canelo could knock Floyd out, if Manny could knock Floyd out, if Oscar De La Hoya could knock Floyd out, what makes you think these are dudes that are at the top of their game?
Because dude is a wild card. You know what I'm saying?
We done seen him fight wild dudes. That don't matter in boxing. Boxing is a science.
I mean,
the brawler always. If you have a brawler and a boxer with equal skill, the brawler is gonna get beat. Like, that's just what it is. It's a science. You can't. He's the best defensive fighter ever. So if these guys who have been boxing their whole life who are world champions, who have done it all, who have fought the best of the best, can't touch Floyd, what in the hell make you think Conor McGregor, who we done seen get knocked the fuck out, can touch Floyd?
I don't know, man. That's a hell of a wild card, bro. Because I mean, Floyd is obviously hands down the best that we've seen of our generation at what he does. But it's like, you gotta do that, because I know he's gonna charge him in a way that a boxer usually doesn't charge. Like, dude's gonna come in there on some old Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't saying he's gonna do nothing illegal, but I can see dude doing small little things like, I'm gonna come in with a knee. I'm not gonna knee him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna step over that. You know what I'm saying? You know, they say that there's always like this imaginary line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's gonna step over that consistently. And I don't know if there's like defense for that other than backing up. Then on top of that, even if Floyd does tag him, we're talking about the dude that, yes, he got knocked out, but this is the man that he's coming from a sport where it's like getting hit in the face with damn near bare knuckles is just part of the game.
But
I don't know if like a stiff glove
like Floyd. Let's not forget that I believe his first 24 fights, Floyd had 23 knockouts. Let's not act like he's not fighting Andre Berto, bruh. He's fighting Floyd Mayweather. And I'm an Andre Berto fan. He ain't fighting, one time. He ain't fight, dude. He's fighting Floyd Mayweather. The dude who no one has ever beat. Period. I just don't see it happening. But I don't know if the fight is going to happen. It'll be interesting. That's not the Floyd fight I want to see.
Right. Like, I don't know. I mean, beyond it just happening, I was like, I don't even know if I want to actually see it. You know what I'm saying? Because one, you're going to be mad if dude mess around and knock Floyd out. Two, you're going to be mad if Floyd knocks him out in 5 seconds. Like, nigga, see, told you. You know what I'm saying? It's like
it's for the money, man. Like with old girl getting knocked out and getting beat twice, the UFC really doesn't have a superstar because John Bones Jones can't stay off the narcotic. Anderson Silva done fell off. They don't really have a star in boxing. For some reason, they refuse to turn these young stellar fighters into stars. Mm-hmm. They still trying to prop Manny old ass out there. So I guess they need something, and that's just kind of what it is.
The collision course. Like, yeah, cause I never really thought of it like that. It's like you damn near got two sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally fighting for relevancy going into their next chapters.
It's like UFC, they just got bought by, I forgot the name of the company, but they got bought for all this money. So clearly they trying to get a return on their investment, and they superstars is dropping like flies. Got to promote somebody at the end of the day. So just the only thing is that money, Floyd is getting the bulk of that money. You know how Floyd play. If it's $200 million being made, Floyd is taking home $150.
Right.
Believe that. At the end of the day, you gonna watch the All-Star game this weekend or any of the festivities?
I mean, yeah, that's one of those things where it's like All-Star Weekend is one of the few things that I actually watch every year, even if I think it's going to suck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've just been watching it since I was a kid. It's
going to be ugly this year. The East is going to get drugged badly.
Yeah.
This year.
I was looking at the lineups. I was like, this does not look fair at all. You know what I'm saying? It's like this does not look fair at all. Like, and even if they do mess around, cause did they replace Kevin Love yet?
They say Carmelo is probably gonna replace him.
Even with
or Whiteside, one of the two.
Like, even with Carmelo, who is not having his best year, you know what I'm saying? It's like still like, yeah. I was looking at the line, I was like, man, it's like, oh, this does not look like it's gonna be fun for them. Then, like, the slam dunk contest, right when you think that they about to be back, is like, oh.
But, I mean, Zach LaVine is hurt. He's out for the rest of the year. But Aaron Gordon is back in it. But don't sleep. That boy that played for Phoenix, he got ups out of this world. If you go and look at some of his YouTube stuff, because he was in the NBDL, that dude is legit. With them dunks. My money is on him. Him or Aaron Gordon. I don't want to see DeAndre Jordan dunking. Dudes is 7 feet tall. That don't even.
Yeah, like the last.
I
know he might surprise us. He might surprise us because I mean it's like when Amari Stoudemire got in that one year. I was like, I don't want to see that. And he showed out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When Dwight Howard got in it that first time, I was like, I don't want to see that. He showed out.
Dwight,
you know what I'm saying?
Was personality. Like, DeAndre Jordan ain't really got no person. Like, he not like Dwight.
Right.
And then I don't even know nothing about Glenn Robinson III's game. Is that Glenn Robinson's son?
Yeah.
The big dog? Okay. I didn't
even know Buddy could dunk.
I didn't either. Exactly. I want to see Clay defend his 3-point title. And I want to see if Steve Kerr is going to be petty and put 4 Warriors out there with Russell Westbrook. That would be funny. Your man LaMarcus Aldridge was mad saying it shouldn't be 4 Warriors on the team, but you know
it happens. I mean, hell, there was 4 Hawks on the team during our 60-win season. You know, so like it happens sometimes, man. Like it happens.
Exactly. So I think he just felt like he should be out there with Kawhi.
Yeah,
which he been balling this year, and San Antonio's been playing well, very well. Shit, they only like 4 or 5 games behind the Warriors. So what can you say? But I'll watch it, man. It'll be in New Orleans, so that'll always be fun. Hopefully, none of the players got hangovers or nothing coming into the game. I think the last All-Star game I actually physically went to the game was when it was in New Orleans.
Yeah, I was with you. Remember, like you know what I'm saying? We was watching it from the suite.
Yeah, exactly.
Matter of fact, yes, Cap. Was that the year that what's my man that used to play for the Bobcats? Gerald Wallace. Wasn't he in the slam dunk contest that year?
I think so.
He definitely had a hangover.
Yeah. Gerald Wallace looked like he get faded off top.
I was like, that boy out there drunk. Like, he's drunk, bro. Yeah, I remember that.
Allegedly. Allegedly. So, man, we appreciate y'all listening. Make sure you check us out on Day One Radio, on iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, as well as on social media. All of our tags are Day One Radio. And make sure if you in the city of Atlanta, come rock with us at Hip Hop Trivia and Slice every Wednesday from 8 to 11 p.m. Always.